truly. How did this happen? All of the stuff that we have, all of the stuff that we accumulate, all of the drawers full, the cupboards full, the closets full, the rooms full, the dressers full, china cabinets, you name it. Every empty space is like, oh my gosh, so much stuff we have. And I am reignited about this subject because of a loved one that it needs to downsize. And it's just part of the process of realizing that you can't handle the big home that you have and the big yard you have and the big, the snow here in Minnesota and the snow removal and all of the tasks that have to get done. And then you decide that you're going to move to a small place. And I mean, much, 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 much smaller. And we have this large Rambler, 2-level, full of stuff. And this isn't the first time that I've been involved with this process of decluttering like full homes worth of things. And it's incredible. And I was discussing it with my son Stone, and I said, it's a travesty. All the stuff we have, it's a travesty. And I do not know where that word came from because I haven't used it in a long time. So I ended up, of course, looking up because that's a thing. I just am a word person. It's a thing. And travesty. I have to get my notes so I can be accurate here. It's a root word. At least one of the references said it was a French verb to disguise, mimic, imitate. It's a farce, a sham, a mockery. This is a travesty, not to be confused with tragedy, which is a dreadful event, a disaster resulting in sadness, injury, or destruction. A travesty is distorted or cheap imitations. Such as a debasement of something held high. It's an ideal, held high, like ideals that are held high. So it's interesting that I would come up with all of our stuff is a travesty, because I think our stuff is mimicking happiness. It's mimicking comfort. It's mimicking control, power, freedom, independence. And you just I think about the mentality, which as I taught this years ago about the mindset of, not having enough. The mindset of during the Depression when many people had so little, that it's like a scarcity mindset. And it becomes like a mindset where you are too afraid to get rid of it. I mean, we've all gotten rid of something and or can't find something that you are sure you have. Now, did I get rid of that? Or is it just because I can't find it in the mass amounts of storage space I have? And a mass amount could mean 2 closets. It could mean a pantry. It could mean whatever. But so there's that mindset of well, I might need it someday. Believe me, I'm married to a farmer, and we have properties, old farmyards that are part of the property. We have properties with sheds, buildings, garages, and every single one has a lot of stuff. And if we don't know what to do with the stuff currently at one place, we can move it to the other place to store it. Because, we might need it someday. That's a whole nother subject. but yet it isn't, because The subject is our stuff is having so much stuff has become a travesty, and not only that, but a burden, a huge burden. And in conjunction with this move that my family is dealing with, we are also. I am also reading a book called Being Mortal, and it's talking a lot about end of life and our mortality, and how our society in the Western world, and really actually what I've read in this book, says it's pretty much universal, worldwide, this like not wanting to deal with our mortality, and not having a plan, and not having the real conversations about what happens when we become near the end of life. And some of these things are, as we get older, we do have to downsize. We have to have less steps. We have to have easier to get around, less yard care, less things, because our bodies just wear out. And these are just conversations, but it has helped me to start. Hello, kitty. Little distraction. Has kind of made me start to think about how important this subject is to talk about. It's a process as things change in your life, in our loved ones' lives, and there are discussions that need to happen, and some real discussions, lovingly, kindly, and yet truthfully, that we have to deal with the items in this house, because they cannot all go with. And that is when the word travesty came. So to encourage us and to encourage you is that there are processes, there is ways to do it, ways I would recommend not to do it, but these are things that will be part of the discussion moving forward. And hopefully tips and encouraging you on how to deal with the masses, and masses of stuff, that is. So stay tuned to that. I will bring this up and down the road, but I want to encourage you to remember that what is the verse? It actually says, do not store up your treasures on earth, because moth and rust destroy. Well, I think too that storing them up causes a lot of angst. So I'm working on it in my own life, and I'm here to help you work it on yours, and I will keep you updated on how to work through the overwhelm and the mimicking of what our stuff represents. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.